Okay, wait for the numbers to start appearing. It looks like one, two, three. All right, guys, how are we doing tonight? Hi, my name is Bruce, and doing a little bit of guerrilla stream tonight. All right, there's that. Good evening, everybody. It's Guardian. Hello. We are going to delve back into the fantastic world of Dungeons and Delvers. Dungeons and Delvers is a fantasy tabletop role playing game that you can buy from our friends at Big Geek Emporium. And if you go to the Big Geek Emporium website, hey, later on tonight, they'll be showing work that they did today. Damn it. We're waiting on this. Okay. Well, about 3 months ago, I said we're going to hang up on equipment and we'll come back to alchemical items. So here we are, back to alchemical items. Cigar DM, do I sound okay, bud? Let me know if the sound is all right or if I need to retool it. Okay. So, alchemical items. Crafting gamer, how you doing? Alchemical items here. We have a default cost in this, and it's for standard version. If you go into a certain area, this is a specialty market. You go to a dwarven town, certain items will be more expensive, more than likely, in the games that you play like that, because the DMs want to vary things up. It's not standardized everywhere. You want to have a standard cost just as like a baseline for your campaign. And as a GM, do not ignore the occasional ripple from the big splashes that happen in reality. Okay. So it's all right if, like, you look on here and it says, hey, acid, a vial of acid cost only 25 silvers. Well, what if you guys have, like, a run on inflation, or like a kingdom you're in, nobody has faith in it? Well, that should go up. That price should go up to reflect the scarcity of items versus the value that now is perceived for these items. And don't neglect to have inflation be the unfortunate NPC that gets dragged into every game every once in a while when you have bits of instability in your game. Now that I've said this, and I'm talking to the people that want to run a very fun, but God, this is almost mirroring reality too much campaign. Don't don't be don't be scared of things like that. It'll open your eyes up, it'll make you research it, and you'll eventually learn how to at least be able to brace yourself by becoming more educated on things. All right, now let's go to this. Ironcaster says simple. It's the supply and demand exists, but lumber's cheaper in a logging town than mining town. Absolutely. If you go to a dwarven encampment, certain things are going to be more expensive. Certain things are going to be better quality goods there too. All right. So acid, pour it on an object to deal 10 acid damage, ignoring the DR, and you can use it as a ranged weapon. Has a range of 30 foot, and on a hit, the target takes 2d6 acid damage, armor piercing 1. If you roll a modified 20 or higher, it has to succeed on a DC 11 dexterity save or begin to corrode, D6. If it's an enhanced acid, this is what I like about this system. He gives you these items here, and then he goes into various degrees of quality. Hey, Multi Gunman, how you doing? We're doing fantastic tonight. We're going back into Dungeons and Delvers. This is, I believe, episode 9 or so, or we've done a lot. No, 12 or 13. We've done a lot of these videos, and I'm going to get back into it. Good to see you're doing good, sir. If this is an enhanced acid, it does 4d6 acid damage, AP1 on an 18 plus. The target must succeed on a DC 13 dex save or begin to corrode a D6. So if it's poured directly onto an object, 20 acid damage. That is a chunk load of damage. Exceptional. And maybe you guys aren't seeing this. So here we are. It is increased to 6d6 damage, AP2. Armor piercing 2. 18 plus, it must succeed on a DC 15 dexterity save, or begin to corrode a D8. If it poured this onto an object, 30 acid damage. Hey, Kronos, how you doing, sir? Superior acid flask. 8d6 acid. Now, this is 125 silvers. AP2, and on a 15 plus, target must succeed on dexterity 17 or begin to corrode D8. If it pours directly onto an object, 40 acid. I like this. I like how he has various grades for that. That is awesome. He has this thing called bottle lightning. The glass sphere crackles with electricity, providing flickering light at 5 feet. It's primarily intended to be used as a weapon. There's a range of 30 foot, and a stricken target suffers 2d8 lightning damage, ignoring DR for metal armor. The total attack rolls 20 or higher. They have to succeed on dexterity 11 or be dazed until the start of your next turn. If it misses, a bolt of lightning strikes a random creature within 10 foot where it landed. What if there's nothing near 10 foot? Well, just you hear a thunderclap. That's it. Well, enhanced, it goes up to 4d8 lightning damage. 18 plus, it must succeed on dexterity 13 or be dazed. If your attack misses, it can strike a random creature within 20 foot where it landed. Why am I thinking of ball lightning? Oh, that's magic. Yeah, bottle lightning sounds like ball lightning is what it is. Enhanced is 50 silvers. Exceptional is 100 silvers. It increased to 6d8 lightning damage. 18 plus, it has to attempt a dexterity 15 save. On a failure, they are stunned until the end of your next turn. On success, they're dazed until the end of your next turn. That doesn't sound fun at all. Superior goes up to 8d8 lightning damage. This is really cool. This is really cool. Superlative is a little more expensive than the other stuff. The acid, 10d6 lightning damage. On a 15 plus, must attempt a DC 19 dexterity save. On failure, they're stunned. On success, they're dazed. That's cool. Blade fire oil. Applied to a single weapon, up to 10 pieces of ammunition. All your attacks inflict fire damage. The attack rolls 20 or higher, they have to succeed on dexterity 11 or begin to burn. And as they get more. Good God, plus 2 fire damage. On 15 plus, they have to succeed on DC dexterity or begin. God, that sounds painful. Chameleon oil. Make stealth checks as long as you're standing next to an object or surface. It can be objects, making it difficult to spot you as long as you're placed against another object or surface. Okay, it only goes up to 100 silvers, but it will last D4 hours and plus 2 bonus to your stealth check. Darkstone. This sounds like a very, very fun. I couldn't be a dungeon master. Yeah, you could, Kronos. You could. This black stone absorbs light when you crack it open, effectively making darkness up to a 10-foot radius sphere for 10 minutes. It functions normally within the area of effect. Mundane light sources are only half as effective within the area of effect it's got. Sunlight is not only suppress its effects, but the duration will elapse twice as quickly. Each round of exposure counts as 2 rounds. That's kind of cool. Fire flasks. These glass flasks can be hurled up to 30 foot away. On impact, they shatter, making an explosion of flame that affects everything within a 5-foot radius sphere. Those within the area must attempt a DC 11 dexterity save. On a failure, they suffer 2d6 fire damage and are burning. On success, they only suffer half. Goes up to 4d6 at enhanced, 6d6 at exceptional, Superior is up to 8 die 6. Ugh. That sounds just painful. He has this entire chapter set up like this. This is really cool. 200 silvers later, I got a superlative flash pellet. Its DC is increased to 19. Blindness is die 4 rounds. Each round the target's blinded. You can attempt the con save to end at the end of their turn to end this condition. This is good. It's not that wasn't Balefire. That was Fire Flask. Balefire was the Wheel of Time thing. Insect repellent. That's too cool. 50 silvers. You get the best there is. Oh. Hey guys, how you doing? Iron Skin Oil makes your flesh harden. You creak around when you move, so you got -1 penalty of stealth. A little bit of discomfort. For a minute, your AC and DR are both increased, but dexterity is reduced by 1, and you get fire resistant 5. It's not bad. Your AC is increased by 3, but your dexterity is reduced by 2. Superlative. Your AC is instead increased by 6, and your DR by 3. Dexterity is reduced by 3. Your fire resistance is increased to 15. Jesus. Smoke sticks fill a 10-foot radius within D4 rounds of smoke. It inhibits vision. People within it must hold their breath to avoid suffocating. This is a really good system. Okay. Storm Shield Oil. Gain lightning resistance for 5 minutes. Get lightning resistance for 5 to 10 minutes or until the oil absorbs 10 points of lightning damage. Get +1 bonus on ability checks and saving throws made to resist conditions imposed by lightning-based attacks and effects. Most commonly, this stays in done conditions. Lightning resistance on an enhanced potion is increased to 10. The oil will absorb up to 20 points of damage. That isn't bad. Sorry, I've got to have my pills. Also, our friend Hungar is in the hospital right now, so say a couple prayers for the man. All right. Storm Shield Oil was what we were looking at. If you spend 200 silvers, it goes up to an hour. Lightning resistance is 30. The oil can absorb up to 50 points of damage. It's pretty good. Then they have Stormblade Oil, which is you make lightning damage. It's not bad. What's this down here? Sunrod. Yeah, we've played with those before. All right. These potions aren't bad. Anti-Venom, Bark Skin, Floating Frenzy, Inner Flame, Liquid Courage, Love Potion, Mending, Ogre's Blood, Restoration, Rush, and Spider Climb. And Vigor, Water Breathing, and Weaver. That'd be kind of cool. Water Breathing. It's going to last you forever. It was made by a very good wizard. Okay. That's interesting. Inner Flame says for 10 minutes you radiate light out to 10 foot and gain fire and cold resistance 1. Enhanced means you radiate out to 20 feet. Exceptional, almost double the price. The duration is increased from 230 minutes, and fire and cold resistance is increased to 3. Wow. This is what I expect from a game. A game that has a lot of little fiddly bits. This chapter makes me a little happier. Get a D6 temporary vitality points, and for the next 10 minutes, get a +1 to hit. Oh, excuse me, +1 on bonus saving throws made to resist fear. Yeah, so it's basically bless. Enhance, increase a D8 temporary vitality points. Fear effect disabilities are increased by +2. Liquid courage. So if you're frightened, you immediately quaff one of these potions, and then you make another saving throw to resist it. Liquid courage gives you temporary vitality points for next 10 minutes. Get a +1 bonus on saves made to resist fear. If you're already frightened, you can immediately make another saving throw to resist it. Pretty cool stuff. Restoration. We need this at my table. Effective cures is random unless poured onto the injury or body part suffering from the affliction. Pouring on your eyes restores eyesight, and the ears restores hearing. Wow. I'm just looking at the various things that are here. Exceptional means you recover from a combination of the 3 effects, and one or more of your ability scores is increased by a total of 3. Or until maximum weapon. Ooh. Weaver. Right. No, climbing that mountain. This is Dungeons and Delvers. All right, so if you have spider climb and you get it made by an exceptional crafter, the climb speed's increased to 20 foot. You climb on slippery or wet surfaces. It supports up to 500 pounds of weight. Get a +2 bonus when trying to hold on to something. Superior only goes up to 600 pounds of weight. The effects of the potion do last for an hour. Vigor. Vigor means immediately you gain D6 vitality points if up to your maximum of excess BPPs get or lost. So this just means they go up. Not bad. All right. This is mixing potions. This is after the alchemical portion of it. And alchemy ends with a vigor. There's more out there, I'm sure. If you drink a potion while another is still in effect, there's a chance of an adverse or helpful reaction. If you drink 2 more potions during the same turn, see what happens. Roll. This is a mixology or mixicology report, I believe. If you roll 1 on D100, you get taken off. You're exploded. Poison. Mild poison. Ew. Both potions only half as effective. Both potions function normally. The effects of one are increased. All right. Potions is what I wanted to kind of go up to. We're going now into poisons. I do like this chart here. Trying to read slowly so you can read along. Hey, Charlotte Williams, how you doing? All right. Poisons can be used to get an age in combat or kill or disable a creature whilst avoiding it. Downside is that many of them are made from mundane herbs and substances before they can take effect. Yikes. Potions must be administered in one or more specific methods to be effective. A creature exposed to a poison in a suitable manner must attempt a con save, and success means there's no other effects. Failure means they suffer from the sickened condition, as well as potentially other effects. Hmm. If it's multiple times, it stacks with the sickened condition with other tracks as well. With those effects that impose a sickened condition, such as diseases and venoms, there's other things as well that will do that. Roll the duration again and use a new one if it's higher. Reduce the onset time by 1 round per die until, onset times, 2 die 4 rounds, and reduce it by 2 each time. Roll the interval duration again and use it if it's higher. That's too cool. Poisons can be purchased. They're usually considered illegal. They have to ask about it carefully and make themselves pay more. Be paid much more than the poison would cost to make themselves. Yeah, that's the thing. Crafting, if you learn crafting in these games, you get a chance to actually save some serious money. It's all on you, though. This is hey Kronos. This isn't AD&D. This is Dungeons and Delvers. Arsenic, Basilisk's Breath, Basilisk's Blood, Belladonna, Cockatrice Saliva, Carrere, Corpse Crawler Slime, Hemlock, and Hero's Bane. Interesting. Belladonna. Yeah, I know, Kronos. Belladonna is you have to save it with a DC 20. Onsets D4 times 10 minutes. It doesn't really wait long, does it? Every hour for 3d6 plus 6 hours. Damage D4. Okay, so belladonna is something that most Italians that I know, they will talk about this, at least in my family, because Italian, like Florentine women, there's a saying about Florentine women. Florentine women will poison their husbands with breakfast and deliver them the cure, the antidote, in the evening supper. That's how the Florentine women found out which one of their husbands was cheating on them. Yeah, I know, right? Crafting Gamer asks, is there any games that give value to Dragon Poop? Yes, Crafting Gamer. That would be Hackmaster, I think 4th edition. I know that sounds weird. I answer that with every question. Hackmaster, 4th edition. It actually has all of the things you could ever need in the bestiaries. And the bestiaries that give you like what the yield is from killing one of these creatures for every creature. It's pretty nice. Okay. Basilisk Breath is an inhaled poison. Save DC is 15. Durations 3 to 4 days. Onsets 2 die 6 rounds. Every minute for 2d6 minutes, you get a 2 die 6. Ooh. This sounds terrible. 2d6 every minute. You get irritated skin, you cough, and have shortness of breath, tachycardia, and vomiting. Yep. Hold on just a moment. My wife is here. All right. So, yeah, Mashari. Basilic's breath is bad. 2d6 minutes. Every minute you get 2d6. You have skin that gets irritated, you cough, and shortness of breath, tachycardia, and vomiting. Sicken penalty increases by 1 each time they fail 5 saves. Their con is reduced by 1. If their con goes down to -6, they die due to respiratory failure. So anyway, I like poisons because in old history, like that's just something that you hear about. Like the ants would talk about this, or like if you have these big family functions, you hear about stuff. Like you would hear about it because people are drinking and they're talking about the old days, and you hear things, especially ones that come over from Italy to see somebody get married. You just have this happen. And it might be this way for all cultures, but it made it. It's so popular that the poison thing was mentioned in a very French movie called The Brotherhood of the Wolf, where Monica Bellucci, whatever her name is, she was the 50-year-old Bond girl with Dan Craig. She describes the Florentine situation in that film. I'm pretty impressed. This is a really good setup that he has. I like the way he's classified all of his poisons here. It's fairly easy to read. Belladonna, something my family has heard of time and time and time again. No surprises. It's an ingested poison. Save DC is 20. Onsets D4 times 10 minutes. Duration is 2 to 6 days. Every hour for 3d6 plus 6 hours. Damage is d4. You can't really function in light too well. You have bad balance and convulsions. You're confused. You got hallucinations and delirium and slurred speech. Less often, there's also urinary retention and constipation. Belladonna is not playing around. This is also medicinal thing because you can have it as a pain reliever or muscle relaxant. It does make the rounds in a lot of healers kits and various games and some alchemical potions. It's been used as a recreational drug because of hallucinations. If you fail 3 saves of it, you get the days and intervals duration. They fail 5, you're also confused for the poison's interval due to hallucinations. The DMT elves are talking to me. Charlotte asks, I got here a little late, Bruce. What would you say this book brings to my gaming table? Can I take this and use this in another game? All right, Charlotte. Being as this game is built, for the most part, this game feels like it's built on the bones of the 4th edition version of the world's most popular role playing game. And that is a statement that Hasbro will take to their grave. This is a very easy to port game. Like I'm just reading this aloud to people, and I can imagine them figuring out how to put it together in their own game systems for their own house. Like if I have you given the poison hemlock in my game, well, the saving throw DC for that is going to be D100 on your fortitude save. Duration for it's a D4 plus 1 days. The onset's within this amount of minutes, 3d6 times 10 minutes. Now, after that happens, every 10 minutes for 3d6 hours, you're getting a d4 damage. The way that Hemlock works is that it gives you nervousness, you get trembling, you have loss of coordination, you have dilated pupils, weak muscles, paralysis, weak heartbeat, cold extremities, and coma. Doesn't sound like fun at all. Henbane, saving throw DC 15 on a d20. plus your con. Kronos is talking about prunes. Okay. Saving throw DC is 15. Duration is D4 days. Onset, the 2 to 4 rounds. It acts quick. And then after that, every hour for a D4 plus 2 hours. Damage is D4. Hallucinations, dilated pupils. Restlessness, flushed skin, tachycardia, convulsions, vomiting, hypertension, apoplexia, and ataxia. Oof. Okay. We could go into that, but I'm thinking this might be where we hang it up for tonight. I am feeling a little fatigued. I want this video to get some views. Hey Travis, I'm just now wrapping up here. I want this video to get back on the happiness side of Mr. David Guile. I want him to make some serious money on this. Let's see if Big Geek Emporium is still. Are they still down? They're still down. Okay. We went through the potions and alchemical items on this. The alchemical items, there's 5 different varieties or 5 different crafting severities, going from the basics all the way up to superlative. And then he goes into potions a little bit. Then he talks about poisons. And the poison, I would say that if you're playing a game, just to reaffirm what Charlotte was asking, she plays a different game. But is this game written to where I could port these potions, poisons, and other items into my game? Absolutely. There's no reason why you cannot do that. And actually, I recommend that people do that. With game systems they like, there's nothing wrong with you borrowing from another game world. There's nothing wrong with you borrowing from another game book. To hear people say that is absolute bollocks. Later on this week, we will be discussing when is a good time to kill a player character, because right now it's bad for people to kill player characters, apparently, on Twitter. Yeah, that's my feelings on it. Okay. David Guile, I this is probably the worst video I've done for your product. I was reading through it and I was thinking about things. I'm thinking about things as I'm talking right now. And you have a really good setup for 5 very well done, from the basic to superlative types of potions and alchemical items. You have a good small selection of potions, which give a beginner idea of how they could craft potions or create potions for their game world. And then you go into the various other poisons that are available. Now, the next time I open this book up, I want to talk about the adventuring, because that's the next chapter. And I feel that's something that actually I'm going to be very interested in. Reading about the various items you can pick up and buy, that helps out a bit. It really will help out when people are at the table. I think that's where this is going to come in. Dude, now listen, you gave us a really good alternative to some very well-intentioned but poorly implemented games. And is Poison green colored? No, it's not Chronos. David Guile, you gave us some really good ideas on how to run games using a foundation like what might be found in 4th or 5th edition. And everything we've discussed on here, I initially was very standoffish. I was like, man, I don't know. I think I might have screwed up. I don't know. I'm not feeling it. And after about maybe 2 or 3 openings of the book, I read this and I'm thinking, man, David is really just he's on the ball. He's made a very good product here, and you should be proud of yourself. You and your wife should be really proud of yourselves for making Dungeons and Delvers. This is a big ass book. This is a big ass game. You set your sights on something kind of big and epic, and I hope that your returns on this are massive. people are talking in chat about various various other things. Yeah, the research is what really kind of comes through because, like, just on the races, you did a lot of work there. In the poison section, like, I'm not a poison control center teleoperator, but I'm going to tell you that majority of that material you have is correct, like, really correct. So, and I've heard too many stories about belladonna being used and such, but I'm just going to tell you that everything I read on this looked really good. And you two should be very happy with this. I hope the success is coming to you. With that being said, I'm going to wrap this up. And yeah, you did good, pretty damned authentic. And when a person just does some cursory internet searches, like I was pulling up the same material you're pulling up on the things I'm not too well schooled about. So I'm going to tell you that you did well. This so far, guys, if you haven't bought your copy of Dungeons and Delvers and you want to run a big, not really super complex game, but you want to run a game that it feels like you can run this game for years. And when I say that, I mean you could run this game for years. You could play this for a very long time. Dungeons and Delvers is a perfect alternative if you don't want to play a big corporate game, but you still want to have a big, thick book game. And I mean big, thick book. Bruce, what do you mean big, thick book? Like 564 pages thick. Yeah, thank you, Kronos. I got told I had nice hair earlier today by a midget, too. I don't understand. The physical copy of this book. This thing is chunky. It is a very well put together book. It seems like it's stitched together well. I flipped it open quite a bit. 511, 515 pages. Cheapest place to buy it right now is probably going to be Big Geek Emporium, and they're getting ready to start rolling out codes. So creators can start feeding codes to Joe and to Randy. Physical copy of this. Actually, you go to biggeekemporium.com when they get the site up tonight. And Charlotte, you can get it on Big Geek Emporium in physical copy. They'll get it printed off through Lulu. That's where they have it routed right now. I think this book cost me $59, but there might be codes out there, or there might be offers out there for cheaper versions for a cheaper price. And this isn't cheap at all. This thing has got some really good artwork in it. And also, let me highlight this. If you get the physical copy, you get the PDF at no additional cost. There's a lot of things in here that other games don't really have much of. So, while I talked really nicely about other creators and their products, I've got to give it to David and Melissa for making a big, big alternative to big corporate gaming. If you want to play a book that gives you a lot of potential depth, if you want to play in a game that has things in there written so a 12-year-old could play it, and the receipts are in, there's 12-year-olds alpha testing and beta testing it because that's the daughter of the authors that she plays it. And she corrects people at conventions when they're doing things wrong. She lets them know, no, this isn't right. We need to clean you up a bit. It's pretty cool to hear about this stuff. For Lulu, you can use Welcome 10 or Welcome 15. Fantastic. All right. Travis, no. Kronos, yes. I do wish I was 12 again, just for a small bit. But yeah, she was 10 at the time. She reminds Melissa about the infection rules at one point. That, yeah, they've got a young child that plays the game. And like all 12-year-olds that I remember when I was growing up, we were trying to get a copy of Dungeons and Dragons at the age of 12. Eventually, I got my copy at the age of 15. So we will be streaming. We'll be doing another one of these here in another night. I think Wednesday night, I'm going to turn on the camera for another live stream. I'm going to jack up on some coffee and go through more of this and another one. 18 again with George Burns. God, that's a great movie. I miss George Burns. Okay. We will be back. When I say we, I mean this channel. And tomorrow night, I'll do another one of these. And Thursday night, we've got Table Breakers. Friday night, I might be hanging out with Max. I don't know yet. And I will be in touch with everybody later. Thank you so much. And I appreciate every bit of you guys tuning in for this, because I know a lot of you don't have this book yet. You don't have the PDF yet. I'm giving you an opportunity to see the craftsmanship in the book. And I want you guys to at least have an idea of the type of quality that you can find outside of first-party publishers, okay? It's not Paizo. It's not Cobalt. It's not Watsi. Shh, it'll be fine. It'll be a good game for you. It'll be good for your table. And this is actually the type of game you could run for years. Later, everybody. Have a great night.